My mum wasn't like other Nigerian mums. It wasn't just about hitting the books or going to church. Some might say that she'd been consumed by the Western world. I would just say she knew how to have a good time. Picture me playing on my PlayStation, probably playing Tekken or Gran Turismo, and all I can hear is music blasting through our paper-thin walls. It's Saturday night, which means my sister and cousin are getting ready to go to LA's. I tell them to turn it down, but they didn't listen. They're getting ready to meet up with their friends and they're drinking some wine from our mum's legendary drinks club. The taxi pulls up, my mum shouts them, and all I can hear is their excited giggles and hollers as they scurry down the stairs. The smell of their perfume lingers outside my bedroom. Off they go. An hour or so later, me and my mum are watching Blind Date in the living room. And we hear the door slam. The living room door flies open, and there stands my sister in floods of tears. I got ID'd. They won't let me in. There was a huge expression of disappointment on my mum's face. What's she gonna do here? You know how the saying goes, not all superheroes wear capes. My mum wipes the tears, changes her makeup, changes her outfit, and gives her a pep talk. Off she goes back to the club, and we don't see Colica until the next day. My mum is such a legend. The Nigerian national anthem, Sweet Mother. I feel such a huge sense of pride and happiness whenever I hear this song. But believe me, that wasn't always the case. My sweet mother was instrumental in supporting me through my identity crisis. I was born in the UK, in the city of Hull, on the 11th of December. And I was brought up in a council house down 21st Avenue on Norfolk Estate. I was consumed by two different cultures. And at times, it felt like my body was involved in a cultural tug of war. As a kid, you just want to be accepted for who you are and not feel alienated for your differences. I wanted to fit in so badly that I forgot about my heritage. The birthplace of my mum, my grandparents, my aunties, my uncles, my cousins. The birthplace of my name, Chedo Oraka. I was embarrassed of my sweet mother and everything that came with it. The food, the clothes, the accent, the music, the natural confidence, and all the other traditions. I wanted to be loved so much, but for that to happen in the surroundings that I found myself in, I had to put on an act and neglect all the things that my sweet mother thought was important. Sweet mother taught me to be overly proud of pidgin English, long last and first names, the smell of crayfish, egusi soup and akara, eating pounded jam with your hands and calling your elders auntie and uncle, and only receiving things with your right hand. Thank you, sweet mother, for being so sweet. Your guidance and nurture is the reason I've become the man who I am today. A proud Nigerian boy. And yes, Mum, we know Nico and Baga used to live behind your childhood home in Onisha. You tell me every time the song came on. I think I was always destined to be involved in music. At times it felt like all of Hull's African community would congregate inside my tiny house for one of my mum's parties. These parties would go on until the early hours of the morning. All the adults loving life, and all the kids are either asleep somewhere in the house or just bored out their brains. There's only so much Connect 4 you can play. Watching my mum being the hostess with the mostess was like watching Picasso. It was a work of art. Her ability to make everybody feel at ease was mind-blowing. She made it look easy. Multitasking before multitasking was even a thing. Nobody went hungry, and there was always plenty to drink. She always looked the part too. Her outfits were always on point. So now do you understand where I get it from? My living room was like a nightclub dance floor. Banger after banger. People would dance until their feet were sore. Nobody wanted to leave. They wanted to know what song was going to come on next out of our Sony Hi-Fi. And if it was Murder, She Wrote, all I'm saying is the house would shake from side to side. Everyone loved that song. If you were getting food from the kitchen, you would bring the food out with one hand and come and dance. No matter where you were situated in the household, if that song came on, you would make your way to the living room and come party. My house really was the epicenter of enjoyment. So many romantic couples and lifelong friendships were formed in my household. I feel privileged that I was brought up in a house where you could express yourself fully and leave your problems at the door. My mum's skill of bringing people together from different communities has definitely rubbed off on me. It's funny how all these years later, I'm doing the same thing. It's that time of the year again. Notting Hill bloody carnival. 10-year-old me absolutely hated travelling all the way down to London and then jumping on a red bus to Stoke Newington. This was a massive burden on my real hard life of watching Power Rangers and Round the Twist. Mum, do we have to go? I don't want to stay on Auntie Edith's couch. I don't like carnival. You do know the only reason why Colica and Anita want to go is to look at boys. I don't like Beanie Man, Mum. I don't care that he's performing. I used to cry and whine about going to London. It's funny how things change. Now you can't keep me from the place. It felt like anywhere I went with my family, I was the only male that seemed to be about. I just wanted some male company, or just to be around people closer to my age. Why would a 10-year-old be grateful about leaving their small world of Hull and getting to experience a cultural melting pot like London, better yet, Notting Hill Carnival, where I would get to see loads of people that looked like me? I wish I could shape my younger self. If it wasn't for trips like this, I would have never discovered my love for UK garage and grime. I remember being on my Auntie Edith's couch when I first heard.
Is it more Fireboys? You've seen them more Fireboys. That was a change, you know, Lethal B, Ozzy B, Nico. Them boys in there rough, you know. Them boys are anything, they're anything. Hey, trust me, hey, must have seen that Lethal B boy the other day.
As soon as I saw that Oi music video, I was hooked. I wanted to watch it again and again. It just blew my mind. These guys looked just like me, rapped in an English accent, and looked just as sick as the Americans did in their music videos. More Fire Crew. You changed my life. I couldn't wait to go back home to tell all my friends about this. I suppose Auntie Edith's couch wasn't such a bad place after all. My first high school girlfriend. I hope you're listening. In fact, I went out with you in every single year at St. Mary's. Do you remember when I got off of you outside your house and you went into yours to get the yellow pages so you could stand on them to kiss me? Just two Northville kids on our quest to find love, eh? We were proper chavs in our Henry Lloyd jackets and Nike Air Max trainers. Both quite gobby and confident, but when we came together, we would sometimes not even say a word to each other. That's why we needed your best mate to be our little mediator. That girl would come everywhere with us, or be the one to deliver the news if one of us wanted to break up with each other. That must have been so annoying for her. I used to come to yours quite a lot, to either babysit your little bro, or we'd just be sat in the living room watching music videos, awkwardly sat across the room from each other, waiting for one of us to make the first move. I feel like every couple has got that one song that epitomizes their time together. I remember going to HMV down Whitefrigate to buy one of the greatest ever dance singles. Well, I thought it was. And I remember feeling so smug about it because I knew you'd like it. We used to watch this video all the time at yours. So I knew I was onto a winner with this purchase. Who would have thought Better Off Alone by Alice DJ would be the soundtrack to a love story? But this ain't just any love story. It's a North Hull love story.